Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Plays more Dead Cells, where we're on 4 in a row right now, but don't get too attached to the streak, because if we go off like 8 in a row, we're probably gonna give Dead Cells a little time away. Tomo, you wanna come in? Hello, buddy. I have this box, it's called the Meow Box. It sounds like it's a horrible invention of my own creation, but I don't actually... You know, it's a commercial product, basically. It's a subscription box service. And it's on my desk right now, because we haven't... Oh my god, Tomo. He's like, almost pushed his little cardboard box penthouse off of the desk here. We haven't opened it yet, because we're going to do a video of it. But you know there's going to be some catnip inside of there. So my dog is just... And by my dog, I mean my literal cat. Is just sniffing around on the outside, like, losing his... freaking mind. Going, what's in this box? We all know what's in the box, buddy. But yeah, I get that it's kind of a crappy thing to do to start the episode and being like, hey, you like this series? Well, don't get attached to it, but it's really like, I like Dead Cells, but I think we've solved it. And it needs a little bit more time to breathe if we haven't just gotten ridiculously lucky recently, which is possible. But I think on this run, you know, we should try to mix it up a little bit. It would be nice to try to make a strength build work. We just got skills right off the bat. Now you want to leave again? We got skills right off the bat, but that doesn't really mean anything. You know, it could end up manifesting as a good strength build. It could end up manifesting as a garbage strength build. We pretty much just have to, you know, take things as they come here. I really thought we could get him handled. I don't mind using the Nutcracker as a weapon, but obviously, again, wouldn't get too attached to what we got right off the bat. We should do, and maybe not on this run because I've already taken it pretty slow, but we should do a run where we unlock all the secrets. You know, if we can get the pendant that allows us to get that triple jump, I think we'll be in a good spot. Obviously, I actually just said obvi, almost unironically, but it was just a misspeak, I promise. I don't think people say obvi anymore. Now they say, when I was a kid, everyone said sketchy. Oh, that's sketchy, that's sketch. Now they say sus. They go, oh, that's super sus, cuz. Times are changing, man. Vernacular. Constantly shifting. Using its mandible to chew up human existence. What? No. It's the wrong. That's from my no sleep account. Okay. Let's go. Does this do extra damage against a stunned unit? No, it does not. This is definitely just the sewers entrance. I don't feel much of a pull to not go to the ossuary, honestly, because the ossuary is the most difficult, and I think, like, honestly, at that point, also the most interesting of the alternate areas, and it's also the most fun. So I think I have, like, every desire to go to the ossuary. These are not great loadouts. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the flashbang to begin with. And the horizontal turret 1 is the ultimate, like, who cares? So I think I'll go, like, flashbang grenade. And the balanced blade is slightly better in its raw stats. So that's why we're rolling flashbang grenade, by the way. It's because we can, well, you know, this is not gonna impress anybody with its verbiage. We can flashbang, and then grenade. It slices and dices, it even makes julienne fries. Kind of a bad first floor as far as loot goes, but we're gonna go to the ossuary. A little bit lighter on money, but keep in mind we did spend 10,000 gold on 30 cells in the last episode. Also, I think I'm the only person who cares about my finances in this episode. Everyone else is like, yeah, you know, you've been at the same amount of money for like 2 weeks of videos here. You're probably good. Financially speaking. Remember when we used to start Dead Cells runs and not be able to afford something? That was a different era, dude. I don't think that's what's really, like, giving us a huge leg up on the competition, but it doesn't hurt. It's kind of something to focus on. You know, in the same way, like, in Isaac, sometimes you can focus on, like, your donation machine. Even though the actual, like, amount of money in your donation machine is not really a big determining factor in whether or not you're going to succeed on the average run. Most of the time. You feel free to disagree, but come on. That was extremely bad on my part. Dude, the balance blade allows you to stay in the air when you swing. It's actually extremely useful for taking out the Watcher. Now, if we end up fighting the Watcher with the balanced blade level 2, we're probably gonna lose, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I wish I was, like, easier going, and I wish I could fake the game having a leg up on me. And I'm not calling anybody out in particular here for this. I'm just like, I make it hard on myself because I took some flack in the comments, dude. When Dead Cells started, everyone was like, this game's awesome, and it pretty quickly devolved into, well, it's not like the community is bad, but, you know, there's some backseating on the degree of, like, you are actually horrible at this game, you're never gonna beat it, blah, 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 which, you know, as an adult, pretty much rolls off my back. But you'd think this would be, like, a triumphant sort of, like, this would be my victory party, where I'm just knocking out streaks and being, like, the happiest dude in the world. But really, it's every run at this point, and I don't blame the game for this because it is still in early access, but it's a little, every run is so reminiscent of all the other runs. And it seems like, the thing with Isaac, I don't know how many episodes I'm going to start by saying this, but I thought that might work for us there. In Isaac, you can't just will Brimstone into existence, you know? That we definitely do want. You can't just will Brimstone into existence. You can't just will Mom's Knife into existence. Sure, you might get, you know, 3 runs in a row where it shows up, but we have had, like, no problem whatsoever. This is so much worse from, like, a raw damage standpoint, but I do like the skills upgrade. I think it synergizes against poison targets, which means it's actually useless right now. Yeah, don't do that. We can will, like, our ideal fire synergy into existence all the time, apparently. Dude, I actually... First off, no. Secondly, I got trapped in a situation where I couldn't attack there. I'm not sure what was up, but this is what I get, you know, for being a little bit cocky. Slow it down a little bit. Go back to the balance blade. The broadsword's just a little bit too slow. I feel like there was, I don't want to say a balance patch, but I feel like there was a tweaking that came out recently. Although I'm still on the beta build, so that might explain it. That was really bad. To use 2 heals there is a little embarrassing. Maybe it's just because you attack faster like this, but I don't know. The broadsword did not feel like it was getting the job done to me. I feel like we can play a much more aggressive style here, even though the DPS is supposedly lower. I don't know why I said supposedly, like, you know, like I'm wary they're going to be able to calculate it properly. But anyway, okay, take the upgraded assault shield. Go to town. I would prefer not to heal. I know we got meat around us here. This is not going fantastically. It's kind of a big whiff there. Dude, I don't know. I'm actually starting to get a little nervous about this. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Just heal up, just heal up. You got meat you can always teleport back to. Find myself mildly nervous in our situation here. We got better equipment, but not sure how much better. But we really, really need to slow down. You know what? This is actually not at all salty. This is what I asked for. Essentially, was a little bit more difficulty, and we're getting it here, and it's actually scaring me. It's like a perfect be careful what you wish for sort of moment to punish me for my hubris, Macbeth style. Okay, I don't know why you would try to make that jump, but ill-advised. I sort of don't understand the purpose of the assault shield on an offensive level. I guess you use it as a gap closer, and it does a little damage, but I don't know if that's worth anything at all, honestly. Okay, I think we should take the throwing knives. I need something that can do damage from afar, and the assault shield was not getting it done. And, oh, wait. Shots pierce. Shots pierce the first target. They're going to be on the totally wrong trajectory, but that's okay. Honestly, this is one where right now, despite the track record that we've had recently, I wouldn't bet on a win, and that's reassuring. First off, I played like absolute garbage to start it here. We've used 3 heals, like probably about halfway through the ossuary, which is not how things have gone recently. We've mostly been pretty good, but sort of squandered it. Okay, extra damage on a frozen target, but it's still not much. And then an ice grenade level 4. With frost slowdown lasting 4 times longer, I think we go for the frost grenade over the, the ice grenade over the flashbang. Still haven't found a great place for flashbangs in my category here. And then I know you're looking at this, you're going, okay, what about ice grenade? Because this does extra damage on a bleeding target as well. Ice grenade, and then immediately hit him with the throwing dagger. We're probably getting a little bit too fancy with it here. Yeah, that didn't really work. But I'm thinking like freeze him, bleed him. The ceilings are too high, dude. Freeze him, bleed him, and then throw a ceiling turret up there. Look, ceiling turret, you're not really doing a great job of making your case right now. I recognize that you're in kind of a weird position. Not every level's gonna have ceilings this high, but... And it's gonna be high as a kite by then. And I think it's gonna be a high ceiling that makes me regret taking this stupid thing. It's not the run that is extending streaks. Oh no! It's a crappy run. Crappy run. Ruining my confidence from the inside out. Kind of fell apart at the end. It always falls apart at the end, but that's half the fun of it, I think. Okay, more loot. We gotta be like in Loot City here. Don't ask me about the color of the grass or the attractiveness of the girls in Loot City, please. I don't believe in the power of the ceiling turret anymore. I've lost confidence in the power of the ceiling turret. Like, was that good? Sure. So what though? Yeah, we gotta replace that. We don't want the flashbang, but we should go back with, like, the regular grenade. Turns out shots piercing targets from above basically is irrelevant. Yeah, it's just not enough damage output to basically justify its own existence. I will say the frost-related slowdown is totally fine. Maybe if the turret did anything else. But with it literally just coming out and, like, existing, who cares? Okay, heal up. We have found an exit, so I'm a little less anxious about this than I was mildly earlier. Let's get ourselves to a teleporter, and then basically just... Yep, I'm a little worried about that. Basically just abandon this setup that we've been rocking, because this is no good. But I am hoping that there's a little bit more in the way of, like, I was gonna say scrolls. Do you go skills or do you go damage? I mean, I know I said we were gonna go damage, but we've kind of got a skills build here right now. If they're gonna do a balance patch, you know, needs to be some give and take. And right now, like, I don't ever see a reason to use ceiling turrets. Horizontal turrets, maybe you can convince me. You know, just once in a very blue moon. I also feel like the meat grinder is not worth using most of the time. So you can take what I say with a grain of salt, or sometimes not at all. This is important. For us down here. I know there's a teleporter. We should get our good stuff back. But we need to keep exploring because otherwise, I mean, I want to go to the prison depths. I don't want to cash out and just go to the ramparts like Woody Harrelson, you know? Just don't know if I see this going as well as I would normally like for myself. Got a little anxious there, I'll admit. Without picking up some more scrolls. And like the ramparts temporarily would seem like an awesome idea. But they'd leave us high and dry like a Radiohead track off of the bends, you know? Almost got me there. We need to scroll up a little bit. Like we're on a website that has too many comments. I want to get back to the good stuff. Okay. It's the ramparts. We still got meat available. I don't want the broadsword. There we go. Grenade 2. I mean, it's not good. It's grenade 2, but it's okay. Does extra damage on a frozen target as well, which is what makes this actually, like, acceptable. Although we're definitely looking to pop off with that in the future. So we still have 1 heal left. No, we have 0 heals left. Disregard. We still got a couple of things of meat. That's the principal get right now. Mr. Weatherby. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm a freestyle rapper. It's like the freestyle rap genre I'm most aware of is like, I got a convenient rhyme here, and then the reference. You know? You got me feeling like I'm on Donald Rumsfeld, Secretary of Defense, you know? It's just, it's too easy, man. It's too easy. That's, you heard it here first. Freestyle rap, too easy. I do want to take a fire grenade. Don't get me wrong. Buy this. Good toxic cloud. Flammable oil. Oh, extra damage on a frozen target. Let's freaking go. Throws a grenade swarm of biters. Now I like the bleed actually. Improve ourselves a little bit here, but 3-2-3 is not a great situation to be in. I don't want to use a fire grenade. Yeah, we don't need the. I mean, we could use the cursed chest perhaps, but we can survive without it. I think. We've pulled it out. It looked like it was a little dicey on this floor, but that's okay. We got like a weird pseudo control build. I'm not an enormous fan of, but that's fine. I think we're going to be able to make it work. And it's nice that we've actually encountered a little bit of adversity, even if the adversity was, like, self-inflicted. Feel free to tell me I'm an idiot here, by the way. I've not played enough Dead Cells to be the perfect, you know, data miner or, you know, balance tester, QA, etc., etc. I feel like almost all bows need a buff, the same way that Mars needs moms. And I feel that the boots... There's just, like, no reason for them to exist. Except for, like, to make the, you know, this is Sparta joke. I've used them a little bit. Like, we had that one run where we tried to make, wow, that was terrible. We tried to make, double boots work. And how did it work? Well, that wasn't one of the first runs we won, I'll tell you that much. So if you'll forgive me, I am like a little bit skeptical that that build has any legs, as ironic as it might seem. So I think it wouldn't be bad if that got a level up. Oh, this is tough. Enemies burn when they die. The Impaler's pretty solid. No, too dangerous. We could get rid of the Frost Orb, or we can get rid of the Grenade and roll Death Orb 7, which just sounds like a great name for a movie. It's a grenade level 2, so the Death Orb doesn't have any synergies, but it gives us +1 level of skills, which is worth something. And it does look like it's going to be a skill-focused build again. Partially due to my own design, but also partially due to the, you know, the quality of the items we got. You can see, though, like, this is what I was talking about last episode, where I was like, the value of the synergies can't be overstated. Because even this Death Orb level 7, like, it is not killing the spider tank in one go. Like, it's still... You gotta ball out against that spider tank. And we've had runs where the spider tank has died without requiring... I mean, I guess we are still on only 5 levels of skills, but that's relatively high. Yo, you can't just have these enemies walking into the spikes all the time. It's an embarrassment. So I think that's why I'm like, Death Orb 7 is great, but the plus 100% against a target afflicted with a status effect is out of control good. Now, I do like... Oh, dude, first off, I like that we got some HP there. And I like the Ice Grenade Frost-related slowdown is 4 times longer, so, like... I only rarely find myself having to deal with, you know, full-speed enemies, but... Oh, I was worried about that. First heal, though. That's nothing to sneeze at. We've gotten 2 scrolls already, so I'm feeling pretty solid. Okay, if we really go to town, we can kill them before they can react. So I think we'll take another level of HP right off the bat. Just spam Death Orbs. There's so many scrolls down here. And that's why I think, like, this is so obviously a part of, like, the solution. Is to go to loot-heavy areas. We're getting, like, an impossible bonus. It's like discovering Deals with the Devil in the Binding of Isaac, you know? I was under the impression for, like... a year, well, not a year, like probably a few months, that Deals with the Devil were just random in the Binding of Isaac. When I found out they were a reward for playing well, it like blew my mind wide open to the possibilities of actually not taking damage for the first time ever. And I feel like I've had a similar awakening, thankfully a little bit faster in Dead Cells. Oh, enemies actually stay frozen in the water now? That was a stupid idea on my part, but... I can't tell you how useful the piercing throwing daggers are right now. So good at the crowd control. I did eat the meat, okay? I'm the guy when, you know, there's that Pink Floyd song, The Wall. Not sure if you've heard of it. D.A.E., The Wrong Generation. No, the guy in the song goes, you can't eat your meat till you finish your pudding. And I'm like... Can I have his meat and he can take my pudding? I mean, okay, that literally could not have been phrased in a more accidental double entendre sort of way, but give me the meat, dude. What would you rather have? You know, a pork chop and pudding or 2 pork chops? You might say a pork chop and pudding. First off, great name for an English bar. An English pub, actually, streamer. Fair enough. Hello? Secondly, I disagree with you. And that's why, you know, there's a bit on How I Met Your Mother that rang true for me. Is I don't really like the show How I Met Your Mother, even though I watched like 8 seasons of it. I don't want to throw my wife under the bus, but it's a popular show. And a lot of people liked it. I wouldn't count myself necessarily chief amongst their ranks. However, you know, it had some moments. There's a moment where Lily is referring to her husband Marshall. They're talking about something called, like, the olive principle. And it's basically like, if you don't like olives, you should match up with somebody who likes olives, because then they'll get all your olives. It's a good step for, like, you know, maintaining positivity in the relationship. Me and Kate have kind of got that going on. She eats usually, like, maybe 2/3 of her entree, which means I get an extra 1/3 on top of every meal. Please don't tell my doctor. They will shame me. And then, oh, excuse me, sir. Nope. Why aren't you dead? Is the thing, like, yeah, a little ridiculous here. And then I, like, rarely want dessert. So if we're ever at a place that, like, you know, dessert comes with the meal for whatever reason, that's her jam. Fire Torrent. She can have, like, all my dessert. And it ends up mostly proportionally working out for both of us, I think. It's the dessert entree principle. Ooh, extra damage on a frozen target is pretty great from Knife Storm, but the Death Orb is also swell. I can't get away from elemental synergies. It's like a guaranteed crit on every skill throw. Like, okay. Lucky me, I guess. Another balance blade up there. I like that. I think our synergy here will work for us. Plus health. Extra damage on a bleeding target, which is plausible that we'll be able to make that pop. I wish our cooldowns were a little lighter, but apart from that, the run's good, dude. Extra, whoa, excuse me. Extra damage on a burning target and enemies burn when they die. Not relevant, sadly. But magnetic grenade, death orb, we did see that on a recent run. It works. If you can get the firepower, it'll work for you. So we got another level of our choice. Well, I mean, as of right now, we're gonna be at like 626, which is almost as much as we would need in normal circumstances, in my opinion, to beat the Watcher. And we already have this like almost before the incomplete one. So I'm pretty sure that, despite the fact that even a couple of times on this floor, it's looked like we've been on the verge of death. This might be Black Bridge. In fact, I think it definitely will be Black Bridge. We gotta do some exploring, of course. Oh, yes. Not much, though. Wow, we made it through here with only one heal down, maybe two. Very, very nice. And a testament to how much we've recovered here. Kate and I also passed the olive test. She basically hates them. And by the way, if you're going like, oh, my girlfriend and I don't pass the olive test, it's all just freaking made up. It's all Hollywood nonsense, just something to talk about. Don't sweat it. Oh, are we okay? You like olives, but I don't like olives. It doesn't matter, you know. Wait, that's actually the ideal in this model anyway, but... You know, I'm not here to sell you a bridge, if you know what I mean. But it is nice, because she's like... It's the same thing for pickles, and now that I think about it, it might have been pickles in the original analogy anyway. But like whenever Kate orders a burger, which happens, you know, on the regular, if it comes with a spear of dill pickle, she gives me the dill pickle, and I'm like, sweet, free pickle. Victims freeze nearby enemies. Nah. I don't think oil synergy needs a buff. And by the way, prepare yourself for a lot of like, probably insufferable, oh, this needs a buff, this needs a nerf, but because that's what my commentary has devolved to, apparently, as we do like sweet dance moves. It's your boy. But Waffles, I don't think oil synergy needs a buff, but it is hard sometimes to justify getting rid of something that does a lot of damage for something that enables something else to do more damage. But if you get the right kind of fire synergy, it can pop. Wouldn't lie to you. So we did get a fire torrents. Extra damage on a frozen target. It's a weapon. I mean, it looks pretty sweet. The problem is enemies are gonna thaw out as soon as you use it, but I figured this made more sense than getting rid of the sword, because the sword is +1 health, which we might want to, you know, even if we end up not being able to hit the Watcher for like anything more than 0.01% of his HP, it'll always have like a use. I don't know, jury's still out. We've used it for like approximately negative 20 seconds. I have no idea how this is gonna work. He does get melted pretty quickly. Like, I don't mean melted in terms of like losing his freezing ability. I mean melted like my dog is taking a ton of damage. I don't know, honestly, I think this might actually be pretty fine. Should heal. Dude, I don't know how he got so slow that gravity still affected him on that level, but hey, Death Orb just crushed it there. Easy money and 12 free cells. We're going to the fjord. Should be okay. Again, once you make it through the prison, I think you got very little to worry about until the Watcher. You could always get bursted down. But I think we could write a freaking paper on beating dead cells at this point. It turned around so fast. I remember like a week ago I did an episode and I was like, I got a message from someone on Twitter that they have a 30% win rate in dead cells. And I was like, what? 30% win rate? And I'm not insulting that person. They might have a 1,000,000% win rate by now. But yeah, at the time it was like 30% win rate. Like, you must actually be a god. There's no other conceivable explanation than you are some kind of deity sent to be good at this video game. Yeah, that was not handled properly there, in case that's not abundantly clear. Be careful, and then they're dead. Come get a taste. Fire Torrent gets the seal of approval. This might actually be okay. Now, I can conceive of a world where we never lose again. It's probably a little unrealistic, but the solution seems so repeatable. Although I like that we're getting some new variety. Like, I don't know if new variety is like a redundant statement, but you get the idea. Kebab. Might as well eat it. It's also my philosophy on life. It just seems like the laundry list is so obvious. Like, yeah, just get an elemental synergy and then, like, live your life. And you might, you know, I'm sure there's some people out there expressing their displeasure that this is like yet another skill run. It's hard to deviate from what works. Like 100%. I'll go ahead and say it, dude. And I'm surprised. I think the Fire Torrent, at least with some measure of control, and by control I mean like, you know, keeping enemies in one place basically, might actually be better than the throwing daggers. And I kind of like those. So I don't say that, you know, willy-nilly necessarily. Meat Grinder, extra damage on a burning target. So you know what I'm thinking here is maybe get rid of the ice. And I love the freeze, I really do. And I think I might go back to it. I think I'm gonna go back to it, yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. Although it seems ridiculous, maybe get rid of the Death Orb. Even though it takes a level off of skills. I gotta try it. So you go left trigger, right trigger, and then just light them on fire, and I'm expecting the damage from the burn to be like ridiculously strong. As long as they keep burning. And they be burning, we be turning, something something, Sean Paul song. They be burning, it's been a while since. Well, Sean Paul is like popular again, which is blowing me away, by the way, but this seems like a little high risk. But the Meat Grinder's doing good work. Like, look at how fast it chews up these enemies. I don't know if I see a grinder synergy, though. For the Watcher, like... maybe if we can get stuff that deals damage to poisoned enemies, I'll feel a little bit differently. Like, we can melt an enemy in no time flat. The problem is... well, actually, here's the problem. Versus the tentacles... I think Meat Grinder Ice Grenade is going to be, like, not just a great name for a rapper of the gangster variety, but also extremely potent. Where I find myself being questioning is in our ability to actually hit the Watcher himself. I'm not fully convinced. Like, the Death Orb... the Death Orb does so much damage that it's almost... It feels wrong to not be going just non-stop Death Orb here. And in fact, I think the more I do this, the more I'm leaning towards going Death Orb. But, oh, dude, a better Ice Grenade is actually extremely nice. It's so mildly better that it's actually worse when I look at it. Because it doesn't have the synergy for frost times, or frost-related slowdown lasts 4 times longer. Yeah, I think we gotta... I actually quite like this meat grinder. It's a testament to how good the effects are that I actually have considered rolling it, despite the fact that I actually think that the meat grinder largely is pretty bad. A lot of people disagree with me on that. A lot of people disagree with me on the turrets as well. I'll give you that, especially the horizontal. I don't know about the other ones, but I think we'll just try it out for a little bit longer, and then we'll go back and probably take the Death Orb. Impaler 5, again, great name for a... Great name for a movie. I had to think about this for a second, because this is at least worth trying. Because the biters do extra damage on a poison target, or sorry, on a frozen target, we gotta look. No, they're not nearly good enough, sadly. But we're gonna replace them both anyway, so who cares? Yeah, we got, like, this is a too many cooks sort of thing we got going on right here. Just too many, like, disparate elements all failing to come together. I think Death Orb Ice Grenade is where it's at, man. We actually have to be a little cautious here. We've got a lot of ticks of damage. And I like that, but... we're better off with what we had. This is like a very don't it always seem to go, you don't know what you got till it's gone sort of moment going on. You know, one of those extremely long-winded song references. It does feel good when it works. So we'll go HP. That puts us at 7, and only one of that HP... yeah, only one of that HP is coming from another source, so... bare minimum HP we have right now is 6. Next levels go to skills, if we're gonna stick with standard protocol. That was really bad. We have no meat available, so... it's actually an opportunity for us to completely ruin things. Don't look so excited. Shouldn't have skipped the, or shouldn't have messed about with the setup we had previously. It was working just fine. As long as we make it out of this floor, I don't really care, but... it was a mistake. Just like the Men at Work song of the same name. We haven't talked about that one that much. It's got some... there's some fire moments in It's a Mistake. Like at the end when Colin Hay goes, "It's a mistake." You know, he's got a much better voice than I do, but he does say that. You can't deny it. After the laughter that's gone away. He sings so Australian-y. I can't even come close to that. I know he's Scottish, but like, he lived in Australia. The land down under, they call it. Coffee time. Okay, so Death Orb also gives us the skill level. Oh, it's like... we're going, like, snuggling up with a good book or something like that. Like... I'm so happy to have our previous, like, F-off level of damage. And you know, you can accuse the finales of these runs of being pretty samey. Like I think I have an archetype that's pretty obvious. I like high burst damage runs over pretty much any other conceivable criteria. No, that's pretty bad. Over pretty much any other conceivable criteria. But we've been trying to work around it. We've been trying to make like control builds work. Foolishly. Because the only reason we're deviating is because we're forcing ourselves to deviate in the first place. But the only thing that's bad about this right now is there is a long cooldown. So this is the torch. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the torch is garbage. I must be missing something. Maybe it's really good with the oil grenade or something, but... the first time I had it, didn't impress me. In fact, it so didn't impress me, I didn't even do a Shania Twain lyric to emphasize how it didn't impress me. You know how, like, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference? Well, on this one, the opposite of... look, the point is, I'm not going to sing the Shania Twain song because I don't respect it that much. It's like the John Hamm moment from Mad Men, where the guy goes like, I hate you, and then John Hamm goes, I don't think about you at all. And everyone goes, oh, I want to be Don Draper. He said he's a total jerk. It's a big moment in that series, you know? He crosses the threshold. We're statted up here. 737 is, I mean, effectively late game stats. We have not explored absolutely everything, although there's probably nothing else left to explore. We should check. Pretty sure we've been in there. Have not been in here, I think. Yeah, definitely have not been in here. Not a good Death Orb. Dude, Death Orb is so strong. I feel bad, but it's, like, insanely good. I mean... I really can't. We're losing money, but we're losing money on cells, which is completely fine. And we're done with our upper floor here, so we're headed to the graveyard. And, you know, forgive me for taking away some of the kineticness, maybe, of this run, but I just don't see us losing. It just doesn't seem plausible to me. Well, it does seem plausible. That's a little overly cocky, but it doesn't seem likely to me that we could lose on this run. We got all the boxes ticked. We got the requisite stats to succeed. We got the, well, let's just level something up. Like, perhaps the Fire Torrent. I don't know if it applies right away. I think it just applies to, like, every subsequent pickup. We still got 5 cells. We got good equipment. And I stand by that. I actually think we have good equipment across the board. Of course, our strength stat makes it so that we don't want to use our weapons all that much, but do we have the kind of run that works well against the Watcher and the Tentacles as a subset? Yeah. Yes and no. Freezing plus... yeah, don't do that. That's dangerous. Freezing plus Death Orb will do a lot of damage. It's actually just basically better. It's not 100% strictly better, but it's close. It depends whether you'd rather have the poison synergy or firing an arrow. And to be honest, neither of them matter right now, so... wow, don't do that. That was silly. Now I'm trying to, like, recover some HP. It actually worked out fairly well. That's why we're not going to use our strength for anything. Okay. Where are the biters coming from? The Chaos Orb also had biters, and I was unaware? This is a bad time to have to use healing, but I did basically squander the early part of this floor, so... this guy's always up here trying to cause trouble. Trying to stay safe here. There we go. Good luck, buddy. Ooh, might have squandered that one. Bit of a whiff. There we go. If we mess up the death orb, things become a lot scarier. Luckily, you have to be as stupid as I am to make that mistake. Yeah, nice hook. Maybe if you learn that there's more than 2 dimensions in the world, you got a chance to hit me with that. Sick burn. This guy doesn't even know he's in a video game. Whereas I'm aware that I'm playing a video game, the opiate of the masses, to distract us all from our inevitable mortality. You stupid idiot. Read some Dostoevsky sometime. Get yourself learned. One mistake I've been making on this run, quite admittedly, and probably been making a lot in the past, is I have a tendency at least, to only use the death orb if I can enable it with the ice grenade, which is actually just about the dumbest thing of all time. Because the death orb by itself is a ridiculous amount of damage. We don't need to enable it, necessarily. Get steamed. Get steamed. There is actually a good reason to kill, is that water actually gonna boil? There is actually a good reason to kill all of the, minions that we come across. And that's because we get biters out of them, so, you know, it's kind of a self-propagating, feedback loop for us. Positive feedback loop. Wow, I jumped right into it. There you go. Having used 1 heal, it's not that bad. If we're looking for anything, I mean, scrolls are obviously #1 right now, I think. Shields, I still think shields need a buff. The force field actually is better than I gave it credit for initially, in my opinion. Wow, that was pretty stupid. Please allow me to regenerate more of my HP. That's not quite enough. That's not quite enough. I'm starting to get skeptical about this run, actually, which is a foreign feeling. Because we've been so, like, relatively strong recently. We should save, if possible at least, save heals for the crypt, dude. I think I'm getting a little too, trying to get a little too clever with it. We're trying to, like, elevate our game beyond left trigger, right trigger spam, but left trigger, right trigger is, like, absolutely fine and also the way forward and also the one true path, so. You attacking the biters? For what did the biters do to you? We need more scrolls, dude. There we go. A strength scroll is fine. I've been using my sword more than I'd like to admit. Plus, it actually does factor in for fire damage from the fire torrents, so. The twisted fire torrents. Who's your fire torrents? Mine's Fire Jack torrents from the 1968 film The Shining. Excuse me? Didn't see you down there. Haha, of course. How are you still alive? Like, be honest. It was a very important chicken leg. I've had some important chicken legs in my day. A clutch, you know, Swiss Chalet run. After a long night of too many adult beverages. But I gotta say that chicken leg is up there. That chicken leg, top 5 clutchest chicken legs in my life. Make sure to leave a comment telling me what the top 5 chicken legs, sorry, clutch chicken legs in your life were. We can have a little shared human experience, a little bonding. If there's a big positive I can take away from this episode, I really think The fire torrent is like one of the few items I've ever liked straight out of the gate. Usually I pick up an item and I go, oh, that description sounds cool, and then I use it and I go, actually, it's garbage. It's one of the few times I've been like, this seems pretty good. Actually, the first time I looked at this, I said, this seems pretty bad. I think I let the torch, you know, temper my expectations, perhaps even a little bit too much. Oh, come on. As long as you don't fall on the spikes, it's not bad damage. The other benefit of, not the Fire Torrent, but the Chaos Orb, or sorry, the Death Orb, two very different things, of course, because one of them is a registered trademark of another company, it helps me find secrets that otherwise I might miss, because it does trigger the, you know, to Castlevania-ize it, it does trigger wall chickens. Let's go. Yeah, there's one more, like, hiding deep beneath the surface of the earth. In a bunker. 20 floors below sea level. Oh. You know what they should add? You're gonna hate me when I say this. They should add an enemy that steals your equipment. Like a little equipment gremlin. So when you got a jerk like me who comes along and is like, my run's so good, I'll never give up my equipment, and that means I'll never lose. Then this little equipment gremlin comes along and he stabs you, and he steals like one of your skills or primaries at random. And then he just disappears into a portal. And then like 6 floors later he shows up and he's got like an upgraded version of your loot. This is one of those things that I wish I hadn't even said, because even if it sounds like a cool idea, which is, I think, a big if, it's not really fair to the devs. Hey, nice video game here. I know you've worked on it for 10,000 hours. Played it for 20 minutes. You know what I think a cool feature would be? Completely changing the tone of the game. How do you feel about that? Frames are getting framey here, dude. So, with our first level up, I'm going to go skills, because we do have skills from our Death Orb, which we might want to replace. We have health from another thing that we might want to replace, admittedly, but... Oh, I opened it by accident. Good God. This is dangerous. Well, it's money. Okay. Okay. I really did just misclick. Or, well, rather, I pressed right trigger to open a door that I should have just stabbed. And I opened the curse chest by accident. That could have squandered the whole run. I'm glad it didn't, because that would have been a stupid way for it to go. That's funny, though. You know the other thing about the Fire Torrent that's sweet is that it actually, like, comes out quickly. Dude. We're not taking a cursed sword. That's just, like, a joke at this point. I will say that for this run, it hasn't been, like, a complete vindication of the ice grenade for me. I still think, the ice grenade is bad in many ways that I will detail for you right now. The main reason is that it doesn't do much damage, and the cooldown is way too big for something that's not providing this much value. The other reason is that it's obsolete. And all I mean by that is, you know, the Frost Blast does almost exactly the same thing, except it has no cooldown, or a much, much smaller cooldown associated with it. Another strength upgrade. It's actually pretty good. 758. And there's our Watcher fight if we want. Going for 5 in a row, I think, which is very, very cool. Very shagadelic, baby. It's me! Colin Hay, pretending to be Austin Powers. It's a mistake, baby. How would you like to come down under? Is Crocodile Dundee Austin Powers, or is Crocodile Dundee like, See, here's the thing. I'm not from Australia, so I don't know if Crocodile Dundee is a mark of national shame. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe we're known for that movie. Or, you know, I guess that's probably more Kangaroo Jack, which is an American movie, to be fair. So, me and my Commonwealth bros can all laugh at that, but, excuse me, sir. I'd like some loot, please. Ooh. Or if it's like, yeah, we're proud of that movie. Like, that movie's done some good stuff for us. Okay, I mean, it's tough, you know? An extra level of skills is worth something. Why the frames, dude? I gotta know. Am I getting a million Skype messages? Is someone going on Steam like, hey, NL? Or is it straight up we just got fires? It could be straight up just that we have fires. This is Tyrone tweeting me. Maybe that's it. I got so many tweets from Tyrone's trolling. This is good because it's +1 skills, but I don't know, man. Kind of like the fire torrent. Does the fire torrent allow us to stay? No, we fall when we do it, unfortunately. But it's still gonna be good against still gonna be good against the tentacles when they get frozen. Like, we can put it out about as fast as we can cast a fire torrent. Or, sorry, about as quick as we can cast a firebrand, I think, so. Because I'm thinking, like, A, tentacles, and B, we got a lot left to explore, actually. A, tentacles, and B, you know, actually hitting the weird little octopus man himself. I refuse to believe that we're close to being done this. We have at least one more scroll. Let me get to 8 HP. It's actually getting, like, ridiculously grainy. So I think it's like biters, and then there's particle effects, and there's, you know, viscera, and... The main negative about the burn synergy. Now, in contrast to the last floor, where things actually got, like, way dicier than they had any right to be, on this floor, they look totally fine, dude. Like, on this floor, we have used one heal. We may want to amp it up a little bit, just in case, because it would suck to die when it would be 100% preventable right now. Should be swinging a little bit more, you know? We got the firepower and the elbow grease. I mean, maybe we should be using the ice grenade as like an interrupt more than anything else. You know what? This is a good moment to heal. Because if we take damage here, I'd rather not be afraid for my life. Nah, it's not good enough, honestly. Just not good enough. And I think now... we're officially done. Alright, so we're headed down to the crypt. The run looks fine. Not the best that we've ever had. It's not so, but you guys remember Vertical Horizon? It's just the best I ever had. Trying to think of what other songs Vertical Horizon had. They had like, so you sailed away on your gray sky morning. Did they also... I heard this song in a restaurant the other day, and I was like, I haven't heard of this song in 20 years. That's why. She's everything he wants. Oh, wait. He's everything she wants. He's everything she needs. He's everything inside of you that you want him to be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time. You know, I apologize, because that was obviously annoying, but... I hadn't thought of that song in so long that I was like, I had forgot that it was a piece of art that existed. Could be better, could be worse, is the way I feel about this setup right now. I think we got an above average value ice grenade there. And these guys are going real slow, which makes my life extremely easy. Okay, that's completely my bad. Dude, they spend so long being dusted by the frost-related slowdown. It's like impossible to get hit twice. Now, we will probably go back on that promise pretty quickly, but that one hurts me. Easy money. I'm not even, like, the fire's not that good for us most of the time. I think it mostly exists for us to just add a little extra damage over time. It's not the, like, best... That was so bad. It's not the best, like, raw damage output we've ever had on this fight. I didn't think I was getting out of that one. Okay, that also went fine. Just shouldn't stand still, probably. Yeah, stop that. There we go. Might want to save it for, like, the freeze. Ooh, that was close. Like, the freeze into the death orb does so much damage on its lonesome. Like, give some respect to that. I'm taking some seriously dumb damage. What irritates me the most is that there's still, like, no chance. I mean, well, I guess what I'm getting at is that we haven't had to heal yet at all. I'm gonna use one just for old time's sake, basically. Please stand still longer. My death orb did nothing. Stop. Get roasted. It's a big moment for us right there. There's a lot of HP. We're at, like, the perfect angle to never have a chance to get hit there. This guy's become like a piece of cake, man. That's right. I eat him on my birthday. That's not where you expected that to go, huh? I think, new learning lesson. Against these guys, we only have 2 attacks. Right trigger, left trigger. Don't try to, like, break the mold too much. Just go for the world's easiest dustings. Heal up. There will be times, you know, you're not going to be salty you use the heal when the boss is at, like, 1/3 of his HP. Saw that coming a mile away. Not that one, though. Something's going down. Yeah, you gotta, like, keep moving a little bit on this fight. It's a... I know, it's first world problems, but... That was good. It's actually gonna be, like, the most touch and go of all of our recent, versions of this fight. I don't think we need to heal yet. He's got to come back up. It's the only solution. You know what? Now we should heal. Now we should heal. You might be like, he could lose this one. And you wouldn't be wrong. But we do still have the respawn. until the end, that was pretty sweet. Stop! Mister, that attack's the most annoying of all the attacks. He's dead. So that's 4 in a row, I think, and we're approaching a point of, like, a little ridiculousness, I think, in Dead Cells, but that doesn't mean I won't be back tomorrow. This one was actually a little bit on the closer side, although it makes, like, our previous deaths against him look comical, because, you know, that if that's how things get harrowing, then I think we're probably largely going to be completely fine. But anyway, hey, oh ho ho. The vessel you're looking for hasn't docked yet. There's nothing for you. Goodbye for now. Thanks for watching the video. Hope it brought you a little bit of company and enjoyment to your day as we continue to stretch out our streak in Dead Cells. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.